Shabbat shalom, peace and love, Shabbat shalom. I'm going to be reading from the book of Psalms. Yeah, I believe it's Psalms 25 to 27, if I'm not mistaken. Bear with me as I try to get through this. Yeah, 25 through 27. We'll be reading from the book of Psalms, chapter 25 to 27. And moving on into the book of Proverbs, chapter 26, and the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 2. Bear with me as I try to get through this. Y'all willing? Y'all willing. The book of Psalms, chapter 25, verse 1. Aleph, to you, O Yahuwah, I lift up my being. So he lift up his spirit. Whenever you see being, it almost every time it equates to being, to a spirit, your spirit, your ruach. Verse 2. Verse 2. Bet, O my Elohim, in you I have put my trust. Let me not be ashamed. Let not my enemies exult over me. So yeah, David is continuing to demonstrate how he puts his trust in the Most High when it comes to his enemies, those who seek his harm. And we have to get ourselves to this same point where we trust in the Most High to fight our battles. Verse 3, Gimel, indeed, let no one who waits on you be ashamed. Let those who are treacherous without cause be ashamed. So the Most High, this is David, asking the Most High that, let no one who waits on him, who truly, genuinely waits on him, be ashamed. Instead, let the treacherous be ashamed. Let the treacherous, without cause be ashamed. You have a lot of treacherous people without cause. They don't have a cause for their treachery. They're just treacherous for no reason. And David is asking them, asking that they be the ones, left ashamed. Verse 4, Dalet, show me your ways, O Yahuwah. Teach me your paths. Amen. This is what we want. We want the Most High to show us his ways, his instructions. That's his path. Those are his ways, his instructions. It starts with his instructions. And then you have his spiritual knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that he spoke through his kings like David and Solomon. And then you have the teachings, the lessons, the demonstrations and examples that, were left by his son, his only begotten son. So those are his ways. And he, if you're blessed enough for him to show you and reveal to you his ways, reveal to you these instructions, reveal to you this way, don't take it for granted. Don't take it lightly. Don't just, sweep it under the rug or, Truly cherish it. Truly value it. Treasure it. Verse 5. Hey, lay, hey, lead me in your truth and teach me, for you are the Elohim of my deliverance. On you I wait all the day. This is where we want to be. This is where we want to get ourselves. This is goals. This is goals for the true believer. To, you know, to wait on the Most High all day. To wait on His, you know, to wait on His breakthrough. Whatever it is that's supposed to break through for you, it's it's our goal, those who are true believers, to wait on Him for that breakthrough. It's We have to trust that it's coming. Whatever that purpose is we have, whatever is before, whatever he puts before us, whatever talent, whatever gift, whatever skill he blesses us with, we have to wait for that breakthrough using that gift, that talent, that skill that he blessed us with. It's not a gift, it's not by accident that we have that skill, that talent, or that gift. It's not by accident. It's not random. Is like one brother would say. It's not random, you know? So yeah, we have to trust and wait on him. Wait for that breakthrough when he shows us what to use it on. What he shows us what to use it for. Lead me in your truth and teach me, for you are the Elohim, meaning God of my deliverance. On you I wait all the day. This is the book of Psalms, by the way, chapter 25. We just read verse 5. Now we're in the verse 6. Zayin, remember, O Yahuwah. Remember, O Yahuwah, your compassion and your loving commitments, for they are from everlasting. They are. His compassion is everlasting. His commitment, he's committed to those who are committed to him. He's committed to what was spoken, what he spoke through his prophets, what he spoke through his kings, what his son, his only begotten son, spoke. He's committed to it. And you best believe it won't change. No one, no flesh, no mere man can come along and change it. No mere man from the past, no mere man from the present, and no mere man from the future can come and change the word of God. Can. He's committed to it. What goes out does not come back. You know, basically, how the verse go? It does not come back void. What he put out does not come back void. Verse 7, Het, do not remember the sins of my youth and my transgressions. According to your loving commitment, remember me. For your goodness' sake, O Yahuwah. Come on, man. Who can't relate to that? Who can't relate to that? Like this is David. This is Dawid spilling his heart out. He says, this is what he says to the Most High. Do not remember the sins of my youth. We all have sins of our youth that, you know, we don't want to be remembered. You know, we want to be forgotten. And yeah, we learn from those sins. We learn to, you know, not repeat, and we learn to be a testimony for those to learn from as well, so they don't fall, you know, fall to those same sins. But yeah, man, Do not remember the sins of my youth and my transgressions. According to your loving commitment, remember me. Remember me. According to your loving commitment. We want the Most High to remember us according to his loving commitment. Not according to what we've done in the past, but where we are now, where we are as far as like where we are now, and where we strive to be, which is obedient, where we strive to be, which is forgiving towards others, compassionate towards others so we can receive compassion, forgiving towards others so we can receive forgiveness, merciful to others so we can receive mercy. This is what we want him to remember. For your goodness sake, O Yahuwah. Verse 8, Tet. Good and straight is Yahuwah. Therefore he teaches sinners in the way. Come on, man. Good and straight is Yahuwah. Therefore he teaches sinners in the way. He teaches those who have sinned, those who are sinning, those who were sinners in the way. Like, my man, no, this is where you go. This is how you do this. And he's going to do whatever he has to do to get your attention in order to get you there, to get you right, to get you on that narrow path his son spoke about, his only begotten son spoke about. He's going to stir up all kinds of mess in your life. He's going to stir up all kinds of mess around you. And that's in the mess that you're going through, the mess that you've gone through, and the mess that you're going through is all to steer you where he needs you to be, what he needs you to be doing. That's where it's going to end regardless. No matter what you do, no matter how much you try to fight it, no matter how much you try to rebel against it. That's where it's leading to. It's to his will or nothing. It's his will or nothing. Yahweh or nothing. Yahweh or no way. Therefore, he teaches sinners in the way. This is a clear example. These last two verses are clear indications that, folks, people, ancient brothers in this book were dealing with real life issues that we deal with, real life, flaws that we have ourselves. David is clearly saying, he's clearly asking the Most High, do not remember the sins of my youth and my transgressions. Clearly telling you that he had sins of his youth, clearly telling you that he had transgressions. Of course, we know his story. He got a man unalived in order to take his wife, in order to take that man's wife. This is David. This is David. It's like then he in the very next verse he says, good and straight is Yahuwah, therefore he teaches sinners in the way. When I was called, I was sinning. I was a sinner. I was in prison. And he taught me in this way for 10 years, for over 10 years. He taught me in this way. Verse 9, Yod, he guides the meek ones in right ruling, and he teaches the meek ones his way. So he teaches the meek and he teaches the sinners in his way. This is what he does. His way is the instructions. His instructions, his commandments, his spirit, his his spiritual laws, his spiritual wisdom, knowledge, understanding that he spoke through his prophets. I'm sorry, that he spoke through his kings. Verse 10, Kaf, all the paths of Yahuwah are loving commitment and truth to those who guard his covenant and his witnesses. All the paths of Yahuwah are loving commitment and truth. All his paths. All his paths. All his paths. Loving commitment. May Yah bless those who fell off that loving commitment path. May Yah bless those with the guidance to come back, to return. May Yah bless, may Yah willing, they'll be able to before, before it gets too late. While they still have breath in their lungs, while they still have that breath of life, they able to inhale, exhale the breath of God. Because they known them once. We've all represented the Most High Yah, and even those who fell off, they know they were in good standings and good relationships with the Most High. So it's like, it's all about coming back, returning. Everybody has to return. Everybody has to repent. Everybody has to return to his instructions. That's what it's all about. It's, if not, what are you moving on? Or you just caught up in your own instructions, your own understanding, in your own way. And it may seem to be working out for you, but is it really? You know what I mean? Is it really working out? Could you guarantee your spirit to extend? Can you guarantee, are you assured? Are you sure? Do you have assurance? Do you feel assurance that you have life after? That you'll have a life after? This is the only way you can get that insurance. No other path will give you that assurance. And I'm talking about the path, like truly walking, like actions, truly walking the path of the only begotten Son. The examples of the only begotten Son, treating others like the only begotten Son treated others. Not just saying just saying a name, or saying that you know of. Truly treating people, the way the only begotten Son treated people. If it's not that, then it's just you're just talking and typing. Because if you're not treating, if you find yourself hating anybody, I don't care who it is. If you find yourself hating anybody or disliking or slandering anybody, you ain't that. You ain't what you think you are. You got to get all that about you. You can't bring yourself to forgive anybody. I don't care who it is. You ain't what you think you are. You ain't where you think you are. If you can't bring yourself to, you know, greet others who don't look like you or others you don't know, you ain't where you think you are. You can't bring yourself to have empathy on someone you don't agree with. You ain't where you think you are. You don't you're not where you should be. You still got work to do. And that's work, and that takes actual work. And you hear a lot. You may hear in the main, most people, this is where the most people are pushing. Oh, you don't have to do no work. It's not your works. But when the Messiah is asking you to forgive in order to be forgiven, that takes work. When the Messiah is asking you to greet others other than your brother or your sister, that requires you doing work. When the Messiah is asking you to, you know, have mercy, have compassion on others, be a peacemaker, love your enemies, oh man, that requires work. That that requires you loving the opposing party. The opposing party of your political preference. The opposing party of your political preference. Yeah, that's tough for most to do. Oh, well, you got to go there. I'm not going there, but I'm just that's where it's toughest. This politics got people bent out of shape. Politicians got people turned out of shape. And that's where you really find out if you about this spiritual life, if you about this ruaco life, if you about this, only begotten life, only begotten son's life. If you really about the Messiah's life, if you really about the only begotten Son of God's life. Let me not get caught in this. Verse 11. Verse 10. All the paths of Yahuwah are a loving commitment and truth to those who guard his covenant and his witnesses. Verse 11. So wait, before I move on, to those who guard his covenant and his witnesses. His witnesses are his prophets. His witnesses are the ancient brothers and sisters that's documented in these writings. His witnesses are everyone who represents him, who acknowledges him before anyone, acknowledges his son. Those are his witnesses. They witnessed him at work in their life. They witness him make things happen in their life. These are his witnesses. Those who have a testimony is like, yo, that what happened for me was no one other than the Most High God, than the Most High Yah. What happened for me, what happened to me, what happened for me, who rescued me, what saved me in the nick of time, what made a way for me in the nick of time, that was no one other than the Most High Creator, the Most High Yah, the Most High God. These are his witnesses. People who can, witness, people who witness to this have witnessed him intervene in their life. I'm one of those witnesses. He intervenes every day of my life. He's been intervening in my life since I've known in hindsight all my life. He's been intervening. And he's been intervening in each and every one of our lives. You just got to know what to look for and really pay attention. Count your blessings. If you have a good memory, if you have, if you're not fading yourself, because this is how you can easily forget, is putting yourself under the influence of unclean spirits, putting yourself under the influence. And this is what people do. And they forget. They forget when he intervened. They forget when they forget what he did for them, that no one else could have done, not themselves. They forget when he was there for them when no one else could have been there but him. No one knew that you needed it. No one knew that you needed help. Verse 11, Lamed, for your name's sake, O Yahuwah, you should pardon my crookedness, though it is great. For your name's sake, O Yahuwah, you should, oh my goodness. Every now and then you're going to see in these scriptures where they clearly big up the name and show how important the name is, and the emphasis on the name. Yah as in hallelujah. For your name's sake. This is what David is saying, and this is the book of Psalms chapter 25. Verse 11, for your name's sake. Not just because you like me and I'm just, no. It's because I represent your name. It's because I know your name. I represent your name. I say your name. I praise your name. I give glory and credit to your name. So for your name's sake, for me knowing your name and respecting your name and honoring your name, which is the third commandment, I believe, to honor the name of the Most High. For the name's sake, this is what he does for people. Those who represent his name, those who know his name, those who represent his name. You say hallelujah, you're praising his name. That means praise Yah. You praise Yah. Hallelujah. You're telling people to praise his name every time you say hallelujah. So for his name's sake, this is what he does. He pardons crookedness. I know he did. I'm living proof of that. Pardon my crookedness. I'm not the only one, man. Clearly, he's been pardoning crookedness for centuries. Since the time, obviously, since the time of Dawid, since the time of David. He's been pardoning crookedness. Since the beginning of the time, he parted, he parted, he had mercy on Cain. He was merciful enough to Cain to give a mark on him, put a mark on him, and let everyone it be known that anyone touched Cain, you know, it was a problem. Even after Cain did what he did to his brother. So he's been pardoning crookedness since the beginning of time. For his name's sake. For his name's sake. I feel sorry for those who don't know his name or don't know what name. If you just stopping by, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 25. And I just read verse 11 where it says, "For your name's sake, O Yahuwah, O Yah, you shall pardon my crookedness, though it is great." So this is, I just feel sorry for those just blowing with the wind. You no, sorry for those who are just unsure about where they're going. They just blowing with the wind. They don't know where they don't know where they're going. They have no path. Nothing makes sense of what they're doing. Can't possibly make sense of it. Can't possibly make sense of spontaneous living. Just waking up, let's do this. Or just popping in on your internet or popping in on someone's platform and just where's the direction? This and this is what I mean, like you when you got so much time on your hand that that's a dangerous person. Not They're more dangerous to themselves than others. They're more dangerous to themselves than others because you got more time on your hand. You got so much time on your hand that you could just pop in and out of platforms and just type sweet nothings. It's a sad way of going. It's a sad way of wasting life, wasting time and energy. It's a really sad way of wasting time and energy, man. It really is. So I just feel sorry for those just blown with the wind because that's all you're doing. You have no guidance, you have no direction. Obviously, because if you had, you'll be on that direction. If you had guidance, you'll be guided on that. It's a sad living, man. It's a sad living. So I can't I don't know that living anymore. I'm familiar with it because I once was that kind of person blowing in the wind, just speaking sweet nothings out of my mouth, typing sweet nothings, just senseless. No, like I'm familiar with the behavior. I'm familiar with the nonsense. I'm familiar with the ignorance. I'm familiar with the foolishness. All the foolishness. I'm familiar with all of it. So I know how it is to be just lost and turned out, lost and misguided, lost and foolish. Anyway, man, this is where I am. This is where we are. The book of Psalms, chapter 25, verse 11. For your name's sake, O Yahuwah, you pardon my crookedness. Though it is great. Though it is great. So even David had great crookedness. Even David had great crookedness. That was pardoned. What makes you different? All you have to do is humble yourself and acknowledge that. Humble yourself and acknowledge that great crookedness that needs to be pardoned. Verse 12, Mem. Who then is the man that fears Yahuwah? He teaches him in the way he should choose. So when you fear Yahuwah, you fear Yah as in Hallelujah, the Most High. You hate evil. We know that. Proverbs Chapter 8, verse 13. The fear of Yah is to hate evil. So when we see the fear of Yah, we know that equates a man. When we see in the writings where a man fears Yah, we know that that same man is one who hates evil. That's how he demonstrates fear of Yah, the fear of God. That's how he demonstrates that, is by hating evil. That's how we demonstrate our fear of Yah, fear of the God, fear of Yah, by hating what he hates. And what comes with that, this is what comes with that. Who then is the man that fears Yahuwah? He teaches him in the way he should choose. He begins to teach you in the way you should choose, show you options, show you where it's going to lead you, and he's going to show you where that's going to lead you. This is the discernment, this is the discretion, the options that you have. Options aren't a given. Most people, I had to really realize, like, just recently, how options, not many people know their options. Not many people know that they have options to weigh. And you have more people, you have most people believe they only have this one option. This is the only way. I got to do it this. I got to do that. And it's most likely it's a path to destruction. It's a way to, wickedness, a way to, that they were misled on. When you demonstrate this fear of Yah and start exercising hating the evil that he hates, whatever he considers evil in these writings, you start practicing hating that, he's going to open up these options for you. He's going to show you, all right, here's your options. You have exits. You don't have just this option. It's not just this. You can do this, and you can do this, and you can do that. Avoid this. He teaches him in the way he should choose. Choose in the way he should choose. That's where you want to get to, where he's teaching, he's giving you options, providing you options in what you should choose. Because you start getting better at making those decisions, those choices, when you go through the choices that you made that were wrong. When those begin to, you know, when you find yourself getting corrected by the Most High for making those decisions, when you find yourself being disciplined by Him for making those decisions, then you eventually learn from those decisions. You learn from that, humble yourself, repent, turn back to His instructions, go back, reset, as in repent, reset, try it again. Remember when you made that decision before, what it did, where it got you, where it landed you, what happened. These are the options that's provided. Then this is him teaching you on the way you should choose. So he taught you that choosing that way leads to his discipline. Choosing that way leads to his correction. Choosing this way leads to his blessing. Choosing this way leads to, come on, man, his rewards. If you don't know, you'll know. You'll know eventually. Y'all willing. Verse 13. None. His life dwells in good, and his seed inherits the earth. This is the same man who fears Yahuwah. The same man he teaches in the way he should choose. Your life will dwell in good, and your seed inherits the earth. Verse 14, Samek. The secret of Yahuwah is with those who fear him, and he makes his covenant known to them. So those who hate evil, the secret of Yahuwah is with those who hate evil. The secrets of Yahuwah. The secret of Yahuwah is with those who fear him, meaning those who hate the evil that he hates. And he makes his covenant known to them. His contract. Yo, what is his contract? So his contract is his covenant. His covenant is his commandments. His contract is the spiritual laws of his government. You learn that contract with his instructions, his spiritual laws, what not to break, what not to, and what to follow and what not to break. His spiritual government. Even the spirit realm has contracts. These are the covenants. And you follow, you follow those instructions according to the contract, to the covenant. This is what comes with it. Your life, you dwelling in good, and your seed inheriting the earth. Verse 15, Ayin, my eyes are ever toward Yahuwah, for he brings my feet out of the net. He gets you out of these traps that were placed, that were set up for you. God knows he gets me out of traps set up for me. Some traps I done set up my flesh and set up my own self. Verse 16. Peh, turn your face to me and show me favor, for I am lonely and afflicted. This is how we be feeling, lonely and afflicted. We got to get to crying out to him like David cried out to him. Speak to him in private like David spoke to him in private. Cry out to him. It's okay to do that. He wants you to do that. That's how you, come on, that's how you demonstrate the highest form of not just faith, but the highest form of belief is speaking to the unseen entity, most high, supreme spirit, Yahuwah. Crying out to him, humbling yourself before him. Humbling yourself before him. It's tough for most of us to humble ourselves. Oh, I look ridiculous. That's the purpose. Anything as far as, that's the whole purpose of you humbling yourself. So you don't look at yourself as being ridiculous, but you more so looking at yourself as you're submitting, you're you're humbling yourself before the Most High, in the privacy of your home, in the privacy of anywhere, even in public, but not making a scene. More so acknowledging him, representing him, and you know praising him and giving him the credit before others. And where others can hear, where others can see that you've given the credit to this unseen entity, the Most High Yah, the Supreme Spirit, Yahuwah, the Almighty. Verse 16, turn your face to me and show me favor, for I am lonely and afflicted. Verse 17, Zadi, the distress of my heart have enlarged. Oh, bring me out of my distresses. The distresses of my heart have enlarged. Oh, bring me out of my distresses. Same distresses that we be feeling, David was going through it. David was feeling it. Verse 18, Resh, look on my affliction and my toil, and forgive all my sins. Verse 19, Resh, Resh, see how many my enemies have become, and they hate me with a violent hatred. How can we not relate to David? How can we not relate to these words? How can we not relate? Look on my afflictions and my toil and forgive all my sins. This is what we want. Same thing David was asking for, we're asking for. See how many my enemies have become, and they hate me with a violent hatred. Do we not have enemies that hate us? Do we not? Verse 20, Sheen, oh, guard my life and deliver me. Let me not be ashamed, for I have taken refuge in you. Guard my life. And deliver me. Let me not be ashamed, for I have taken refuge in you. Verse 21, Tall, let integrity and straightness Guard me, for I have waited for you. Verse 22, redeem Yisrael, O Elohim, out of all his distresses. So this, let integrity and straightness guard me. So this is where it starts. You have to demonstrate integrity, meaning no matter who's watching, no matter if no one's watching, you're doing your best to deny your flesh of what it wants to say. You're doing your best to deny your flesh of what it wants to do. You're doing your best to deny yourself, your flesh, of where it wants to go. You're doing your best to deny your flesh of who it wants to be with. Regardless of who's watching, regardless of who knows. Integrity is doing your best to deny your flesh even when no one is watching, even when it's just you and your flesh. This is integrity. So when you're in, this is what it boils down to. This is how you tap into the same deliverance that David is receiving, the same forgiveness that David received, the same parting of crookedness that David received, is when you exercise in that integrity and straightness. Straightness is, you mean you're fair with others, you're fair to others. You're legitimate. You're not slandering, you're not lying, you're by the book, his book. You're by his book. And this is not to act as if you're perfect or holier than others, or you this or you that, because you're not. As long no one is, as long as they're in the flesh. But the idea is to rule over the flesh. The idea is to stop the flesh from saying things about people. Stop the flesh from lying. Stop the flesh from hurting people with your words and hurting people physically. Stop the flesh from stealing. Stop the flesh from, laying with other people's spouse. Stop the flesh from just laying with people with no purpose. Stop the flesh from this. That's the whole point. It's not that the flesh doesn't want to do this. It's not that the flesh doesn't want to say these things or do these things. It's about doing your best at stopping it. That's what it's about. It's not about being perfect. It's not, oh, I don't do this. I'm not that anymore. No, you are that. Your flesh is that. Every bit of that. You're just exercising integrity. You're exercising straightness. You're exercising discipline and obedience to the spiritual laws of Yah and his government. His spiritual government. Chapter 26, verse 1. This is the book of Psalms, by the way. Chapter 26, verse 1. Rule me rightly, O Yahuwah, for I have walked in my integrity, and I have trusted in Yahuwah without wavering. Without wavering. So here we go again with integrity. Walking in integrity. Rule me rightly, O Yahuwah, for I have walked in my integrity. So he knows that he should be ruled. David knows that he should be ruled rightly because he has walked in his integrity. His integrity when no one else was watching, when he could have demonstrated, he could have walked out of integrity and lied or stole or deceived or took advantage or not been fair or been wicked or been oppressive or using his strength for bad, using his riches and his power for bad. He could have done these things. This is the options you have. You can do this or you can do that. You can be mean or you can be nice. You could be fair or you could be unfair. You could be wicked or you can be good. You can be righteous or you can be unrighteous. Rule me rightly, O Yahuwah, for I have walked in my integrity. And I have trusted in Yahuwah without wavering. Trusting in him is trusting that if you follow his instructions, if you obey his spiritual laws and his spiritual government, that you are in good standings with him. You are protected. You are, shielded by his spiritual shield, his spiritual government. Verse 2, examine me, O Yahuwah, and prove me. Try my kidneys and my heart. So David is so confident on what he's demonstrated. He's like, Yah, examine me. Examine my heart, examine my kidneys, and you'll see that I've did my best to deny my flesh of these things, deny my flesh of saying these things, saying what the flesh wants to do. I done my best to deny my flesh of, going where it wants to go, doing what it wants to do, being with who it wants to be with. So he's so confident, like, man, like, you can check me, you can check it out. I'm clear. I'm in the clear. Verse 3, for your loving commitment is before my eyes, and I have walked in your truth. His truth is his instruction. His truth is his prophecies of his prophets of old. His truth is his spiritual knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that he spoke through his kings like David and Solomon. Verse 4, I have not sat with men of falsehood, nor do I enter with pretenders. So men of falsehood are these men who are pushing this other doctrine that's outside of these writings, pushing their own doctrine that's outside of these writings, pushing doctrines of other false prophets and false deities. These are the falsehood. This is the falsehood. He said, I have not, this is David is Dave, we should be like David in the same way. I have not sat with men of falsehood, nor do I enter with pretenders. So someone pretending is, like I said, most believers, most people who claim to believe nowadays, they believe with their lips. They believe with their lips, but their actions, they do nothing. They don't love they can't bring themselves to love their enemies. They can't bring themselves to, forgive others in order to be forgiven. They can't bring themselves to greet people they don't know. They can't bring themselves to love people they don't know. Those are the pretenders. These are the pretenders. But, he says, I have not sat with men of falsehood. So when you have men of falsehood and they push a falsehood, you want to stick. You want to stay away from these people. People who are in falsehood, man, it is like really pushing falsehood. Like you're pushing it. You got to stay away from that kind of person. You know what I mean? Until they get it together, tighten up, and come to the truth. Come to knowing the truth. Like I said, man, everyone is stuck in their flesh until they're not. Everyone is stuck in these flesh, and these flesh has muscle memory, and it remembers what is done. Each flesh remembers what it has done. You can't intoxicate the flesh to forget what is done. You gotta face it, live with it, and accept it. It's your flesh. It's your flesh that is filthy. It's your flesh that is sinful. It's your flesh that wants to do these things. It's your flesh that enjoy doing these things. It's your flesh that it's the flesh. It's the spirit within you, that breath of life spirit that lives off the breath of God that you inhale and exhale, the breath of God, which is what we call oxygen. This is what the spirit lives off. That consciousness, that where your dreams stem from, your vision, your envision, your everything that others can't see. That's spiritual. Things that you have to describe to people. That's spiritual. That's your breath of life spirit within you. It's the flesh that people can see. But what you have to explain to people, and that's the spirit. What others can't see but they can hear, that's the spirit. That's a voice. What others can't can't see but they can feel, that's the spirit. That's the breath that you blow in your hand. So I say all that to say this. Sinning, people going on sinning, and you have to do your best at stopping this flesh from what it wants to do, because every flesh wants to do sin. Every flesh wants to sin. No one is exempt of that. Every flesh desires to sin. Even hunger. When you hunger, you're hungry. Let you go without food for 24 hours, 48 hours, and see what will happen. Let you feel as though you have no food. You're going to find yourself looking to sin, to feed yourself. Let you feel and believe that you have no food, and you got to find food. You would do sinful things to eat. So no one is exempt to this flesh, because the flesh is it's it's been corrupt since its existence. So the best each of us can do is rule over this flesh as the breath of life spirit within our true identity, and focus on what we can stop ourselves from doing, what we can stop ourselves from saying, stop ourselves from saying a lie, stop ourselves from saying a slander, stop ourselves from false witnessing, stop ourselves from oppressing people, doing harm to people. Each of us are capable, each of our flesh are capable of this. And you gotta know what's a sin. Everything, everything you gotta know you got to know what sin is. Sin is slander. Sin is adultery. Sin is false witnessing. Sin is stealing. Sin is sin is blaspheming the set apart spirit. Sin is dishonoring your parents. Sin is doing unclean things as far as what's considered unclean in these writings. So you got to know you got to know what all that is. It's not it's not what half of it is not what you think it is. You got to know what it is according to what is written, not according to what you believe is politically incorrect or politically wrong. What's wrong in your eyes? You have to look at what's wrong in the eyes of the Most High and what is written. Verse 4, I have not sat with men of falsehood, nor do I enter with pretenders. Verse 5, I have hated the assembly of evildoers, and I do not sit with the wrong. So those who do wrong, those who are evil doers, you can't find yourself comfortable around them. You might bump shoulders with them. You might be around them briefly. You might, but it's not a thing. This is not a continuous thing that you want to do. You want to find yourself being around. You can't. You gotta work around these evildoers. You gotta work around these people who do what is wrong. You gotta learn to work around them. They're in your workplace. They're in your family. They're in your workplace. They're in your community. So there's no getting around them. It's no escaping them. But you have to do your best to live amongst them. And do your best to remove yourself remove yourself from them before it rubs off on you. Verse 6, I wash my hands in innocence, and I walk around your slaughter place, O Yahuwah. Verse 7, to raise a voice of thanksgiving and to declare all your wonders. You gotta count these wonders. You gotta think of all the wonders the Most High shown to you, revealed to you in your life. And there's more than you'd be surprised how many wonders there you'll come up with. How many miracles, how many interventions, times he intervened, and you were just overlooked it. You just didn't think anything of it. Verse 8, Yahuwah, I have loved the abode of your house and the place where your esteem dwells. Verse 9, do not gather my being together with sinners, nor my life with bloodthirsty men. That's something we don't want. We don't You don't want to be gathered with sinners and bloodthirsty men when it's time in the day of gathering, in the day of separating, his sheep from his goat, in the day of judgment. Verse 10, in whose hands is a plot, and their right hand is filled with bribes. So he's speaking about these bloodthirsty men, in whose hands is a plot, always plotting, scheming to manipulate, scheming to finesse, scheming to oppress, scheming to cheat, steal, defraud others, plotting. We don't want to be gathered with them. So when you find yourself, if you know a person like this, keep your distance, keep your space. One who is in their right hand is filled with bribes. They can be bought. They can be bought to do anything evil. They can be bought to do anything wicked. They can be bought to do this wickedness, carry out this evil. Anyone who can be bought to carry out evil and carry out wickedness, you want to stay away from. You want to keep your distance. You want to keep your space. These are dangerous people. These are dangerous people. A person who can be bought to do something evil, person that can be bought to do something wicked, treacherous. Keep your distance. Stay far away from these folks. Verse 11, but as for me, I walk in my integrity. Redeem me and show me favor. So David, man, but as for me, I walk in my integrity. I can't be bought. I'm not accepting bribes. As for me, I'm not plotting to get over, defraud, steal, or cheat someone, or sleep with someone's spouse. Not doing any of this. He's done it. It's not to say that he hasn't done this, because he's done it. We know the story of David. He's done this. He slept with someone's wife. He got someone unalived. Verse 12, my foot shall stand on a level place. In the assemblies, I bless Yahuwah. In the assemblies, those in the gatherings, those who gather in his name. That's what assembly is. That's what a true church is. When two or three gather in the name of his only begotten son nowadays. Obviously, this was before his only begotten son was revealed to us. Chapter 27, verse 1. Yahuwah is my light and my deliverance. Whom should I fear? Yahuwah is the refuge of my life. Whom should I dread? Who? Verse 2. When evildoers come against me to eat up my flesh, my adversaries and my enemies, they shall stumble and fall. Verse 3. Though an army encamps against me, my heart does not fear. This is what comes with trusting in Yah. You become fearless because you know the Most High got you. Because you know the Most High is with you. Because you know the Most High protects you. You become fearless. You become you become courageous. You become confident in this sense of assurance, to know that you good, regardless of what goes down, where it goes down, how it goes down, how many. None of that is your concern because you know you have walked in integrity. You have returned. You have repented from your evil. You begin ruling over this flesh, as in denying this flesh of what it wants to do, what it wants to say, where it wants to go, and who it wants to be with. You've demonstrated that. So this is what leads to like you not having anything to worry about. I'm straight regardless because I know I did what I had to do with myself, my flesh meaning. I know my spirit, the spirit me has deprived my flesh of the things that my flesh wants to do, deprived my flesh of the things that my flesh wants to say, deprived my flesh of the places where my flesh wants to go, deprived my flesh of where and whom the people my flesh wants to be with. So this is what comes with that. You're sure of yourself, as in your spirit. Though an army encamps against me, my heart does not fear. Though battle comes up against me, even then I would be trusting. I would be trusting. We all have to get ourselves to this point. We all have to get ourselves to this point. To we're able to trust in the Most High, to where as though we're not anxious. We don't have anxiety. We don't have depression. All of that is unclean spirits of your flesh that's attached to your flesh. Your flesh, the flesh has an expiration date, so it fears when that expiration date is going to come. But the more you feed yourself with the spiritual words of Yah, the more you feed your spirit with the spiritual words of Yah, and you live those spiritual words of Yah, the more you strengthen in the more you become that spirit, that breath of life spirit within. And where your surety, where your confidence and your courage and your assurance, becomes to, it starts to heighten, it starts to progress, it starts to manifest to where you're not having these anxiety, you're not having this anxiety anymore. You're not having this depression anymore. You're not distressed and worried and in fear of the headlines and the news and the world news and what's going on around the world and in the nation and in your neighborhood. And you're not worried. You're not. No, none of that. You're not moved by any of that. Verse 4. One matter I ask of you. One matter I ask of Yahuwah. This I seek, to dwell in the house of Yahuwah all the days of my life, to see the pleasantness of Yahuwah, and to inquire in his hekel, meaning his temple. Verse 5, for in the day of evil he hides me in his booth, in the covering of his tent he hides me. On a rock he raises me up. Verse 6, and now my head is lifted up above my enemies all around me, and I slaughter in his tent with slaughters of sounding. Verse, I sang, yes, I sang praises to Yahuwah. He sings. David wanted to let us know twice that he sings praises to Yahuwah, to the Most High Yah, as in hallelujah. I sang, yes, I sang praises to Yahuwah. This is the book of Psalms, if you didn't know. It's book of Psalms, chapter 27. Verse 6. Now we're in verse 7. Hear, O Yahuwah, when I cry with my voice, and show me favor and answer me. It's important to cry out, brothers and sisters. It's important. It's the best thing you could ever do in your life. Is to fall on your face in the privacy of your own home, wherever you are. Fall on your face and just let it go. Sorry, 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 I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Help me forgive others so you can forgive me. Help me forgive others so you can forgive me. Help me have mercy on others so you can have mercy on me. Help me have compassion on others so you can have compassion on me. Help me have empathy for others so you can have empathy for me. This is all you should be crying out, saying, to humble yourself. Help me. Help me. I'm sorry. Help me. I'm sorry. We society teaches us to feel ourselves more than we should, smell ourselves more than we should be, think of ourselves more than we should be thinking of ourselves. Society teaches us this, and it's really the enemy in the ancient knowledge of evil teaching us this. The arrogance, the stubbornness, the rebelliousness, the rebellion, the stiff neck, the pride, foolish pride. When you should be humble in yourself in the presence of the Most High, which is everywhere. Verse 6, and now my head is lifted up above my enemies all around me, and I slaughter in his tent with slaughterings of sounding. I sang, yes, I sang praises to Yahuwah. Verse 7, hear, O Yahuwah, when I cry with my voice, and show me favor, and answer me. Verse 8, to my heart you have said, seek my face. Your face, Yahuwah, I seek. Gotta seek his face. Trust that is there. Trust that is watching. Trust that is there. Trust that is watching. You're not seeing it with your fleshly eyes. but you know it's there in your spirit, the spirit that he gave you, the spirit that you. Verse 9, do not hide your face from me. Do not turn your servant away in displeasure. You have been my help. Do not leave me nor forsake me, O Elohim of my deliverance. It's okay to ask Most High. It's okay to ask Yah. It's okay to ask our spiritual Father to be there for us. Ask the same things David is asking. Get to know what David's been asking, man. It's okay to ask these same things that David was asking. The assurance, needing that assurance, because the flesh, it starts. It's the flesh that gets anxiety, get anxious. It's the flesh that gets worried and depressed and fearful. So when it does, find yourself some privacy so you can ask these questions, that the same question, so you can ask for this help, and you ask for this deliverance, you ask for this safety, and you ask for this protection, and you ask for this healing, whatever it is you need to ask for, the same things that David asked for. Ask the Most High for this. Don't think that you bigger or above it. Don't think that you're sane and that's insane. Don't think like that. Oh, that's weird. Oh, that's strange. That's ridiculous. I don't want to look ridiculous. How you going to look ridiculous when no one in the flesh is there to watch you? No one in the flesh is there to see you. You're in your own head. I'm not doing all that. I can be spending my time doing better things. I can be on my phone scrolling. It's fine to scroll here to learn this, because I'm going to tell you this. It's better to be off the phone, falling out on your face, saying, help me, Yah. Being honest about your anxiety, your flesh being anxious, your flesh having anxiety, your flesh being in fear, your flesh being scared of where it's going to be, what it's going to happen, how it's going to play out. Talk to him about it. Tell him that. Tell him that you're scared. Tell him that you fear tomorrow. You fear where things are going. Tell him that. Ask him to protect you from it. Ask him to show you what needs to be done. Ask him to protect you. Ask him to deliver you. Ask him to for you to take refuge in him. This is what David was asking. This is what David been asking through the whole Psalms, book of Psalms. Why can't you ask the same thing? Whenever you're feared, whenever you're unsure about your life and where it's going to go, and where in your life after. Whenever you're unsure about this, why can't you ask the same questions that David was asking? This is what David was saying to the Most High. To the point he documented and wrote it down. Verse 9, do not hide your face from me. Do not turn your servant away in displeasure. You have been my help. Do not leave me nor forsake me, O Elohim of my deliverance. Verse 10, When my father and my mother have forsaken me, then Yahuwah does take me in. So he clearly had parents who he felt forsaken him. You're not alone. You're not the only one whose parents, who feel like their parents forsaken them. You're not the only one who feel like their parents you never had parents, you no longer have your parents. David felt the same way. When my father and my mother have forsaken me, then Yahuwah does take me in. That's when our spiritual father takes us in. That's when he has taken us in. Verse 11, teach me your way, O Yahuwah, and lead me in a smooth path because of my enemies. Teach me your way, O Yahuwah, and lead me in a smooth path because of my enemies. You got to ask him to teach you. You got to want to be taught. You got to want to be taught. And he sent his son to teach us. His son taught us. His son left us with teachings. Left us with examples. Left us with demonstrations. Verse 12, do not give me over to the desire of my adversaries, for false witnesses have risen against me, and they breathe out cruelty to me. So David was dealing with people that was lying on him. David was dealing with people that was false witnessing against him. Same people that you feel lying on you and false witnessing against and making up things about you and trying to get you in trouble and trying to get this done and get these stuff to happen to you. David was dealing with the same folks. He brought it to the Most High. He wasn't thinking about how ridiculous he would sound speaking to an unseen entity. Whining to an unseen entity, crying out to an unseen entity, complaining to an unseen entity, venting to an unseen entity. He wasn't thinking about how he's going to look or how he sees himself doing this. Wasn't thinking about none of that. You shouldn't be thinking about it. Find a private place and do it. Find some privacy and do it. Verse 13, what if I had not believed to see the goodness of Yahuwah in the land of the living? Verse 14, wait on Yahuwah, be strong, and let him strengthen your heart. Wait, I say, on Yahuwah. Wait on Yahuwah, be strong, and let him strengthen your heart. David is giving you the game. He's giving you the gift. He's giving you the blueprint. He's giving you the instruction on how. Wait on. First, humble yourself before the Most High, Creator. Humble yourself. Acknowledge Him. Apologize. I'm sorry. Help me. I'm sorry. help me. This is what I'm afraid of. This is what I fear. This is what's giving me anxiety. This is what's keeping me up at night. This is what keeps me tossing and turning. This is what keeps me worried, scared, unsure. Tell him all of that. Tell him all of that. And then wait. And while you're waiting, get to know his instructions. While you're waiting, follow his instructions. And next thing you know, you're no longer scared. Next thing you know, you're no longer worried. Next thing you know, before you know it, you no longer have anxiety. Before you know it, you no longer have depression. You no longer have fear, doubt. Wait on Yahuwah. Be strong. And let him strengthen your heart. That's him strengthening your heart. This is what happens. But it starts with you humbling yourself before him, simply crying out, help me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Help me. Where do I start? That's where I started, on a prison floor, crying out. The book of Proverbs, chapter 26, verse 1. Like snow in summer and rain in harvest, so esteem is not fitting for a fool. So when someone is showing themselves to be a fool, it's not fitting for them to have the glory that they have, the esteem that they have, the status that they have. It's not fitting. It doesn't look good on them. It doesn't look right on them in the eyes of those who are wise, those who are spiritually wise. Verse 2, as a bird wanders, as a swallow flies about, so a curse without cause does not come. So when you cursing others without a cause, it won't come. Just forget about it. They done nothing for you to curse them. So don't expect it to come to manifest. Verse 3, a whip for a horse, a bridle for a donkey, and a rod for the fool's back. That's what the fool got coming to him. Anytime we ourselves act foolishly, we have a rod coming. We have this spiritual rod coming. The Most High is going to get, he is a spiritual whipping coming our way. Expect it. Whenever we act out foolishly, expect something happening. Him, delivering the spiritual belt, putting a spiritual belt to behind. And you wondering why this happened. You wondering why that happened. You wondering why this person you having a misunderstanding and disagreement with this person, that person. You wondering why this is late. This bill, that bill, this payment, that payment, this. You wondering why all this mess is happening. That's the spiritual belt to behind. The spiritual belt to behind for being foolish, speaking foolishly, acting foolishly. Verse 4, do not answer a fool according to his folly, lest you also become like him. So what this means is do not answer a fool according to his folly. Like don't entertain foolishness. If it's foolishness, don't entertain it. Don't laugh at it. Don't respond it. If it's over the top foolish, don't entertain it. Don't give that person the satisfaction of entertaining it by giving them a chuckle, a laugh, or even a response. This is what this means. Do not answer a fool according to his foolishness, lest you also become like him. So when you get to laughing at this foolishness, when it's like it's something obnoxious, like over the top obnoxious and evil and wicked, like his wicked humor, evil humor, you're mocking someone, you're mocking an unalive person, or making fun of a person with a disability. These are things you don't entertain. You don't entertain this. You don't entertain a fool when they're in this kind of foolishness. You don't respond to a fool when they're in this kind of foolishness. You don't laugh at a fool when they're in this kind of foolishness. Do not answer a fool according to his foolishness, his folly, lest you also become like him, because you'll become like him if you do. You'll be just as guilty, just as wicked, just as evil. On the flip part, verse 5, answer a fool according to his folly, lest he become wise in his own eyes. So what this means is correct a fool when they're wrong about something and they think they're right. When a fool is laughing, that's why that person is that, and the third. But if you know that person is not that, and the third, correct that fool. Like, no, that person not that, and the third. You got a lot of people be just spewing out false, information. Just spewing out fake, what's known as fake news. Just saying anything about people. And it's your job to correct them. Like, no, that ain't it. No, that's not true. When it's something not true, when something isn't true, it's your duty as a believer to correct it. Like, no, that's not true. Where does that say that? Where did you see that? Where did you hear that? Did you see that yourself? Were you there? Did you witness it? Did you watch that happen? This is the duty of each of us. So if you're not, this is what this means. Answer a fool according to his folly, his foolishness, lest he become wise in his own eyes, because a person will think they're wise and when they're getting away with this mess. They're getting away with saying this mess about something, saying this mess about someone else, saying something about a person that you know for sure isn't true. And it's your duty to check them and indebted and set the record straight. Like, that's not true. So this is what that means. Answer a fool according to his folly. That's the only time you answer a fool, is to correct them. But when they're in their nonsense, just something that you don't have to correct, and it's just wicked, evil, and ridiculous, don't even entertain it. Some things are hard not to entertain. Some things your flesh finds funny. Most things your flesh finds funny. But it's the spirit that has to practice this discipline on not basically depriving the flesh of this laugh. Denying the flesh of this laugh as of finding finding what you hear, which is evil, entertaining. And you have a lot of wicked humor out there. You have a lot of evil humor that is hilarious to our flesh. But it's the spirit within that has to deny it of laughing. It's just something you have to exercise. You want to get the exercise, and when you do, you can pat yourself on the back like I didn't let my flesh laugh at that. That was wicked. I didn't let my flesh laugh at that. That was evil. I didn't let my flesh laugh at that. Give yourself credit when you do that. Verse 6, he who sends a message by the hand of a fool cuts off feet, drinks damage. He who sends a message by the hand of a fool cuts off feet, drinks damage. So, yeah, don't ever send a fool to, deliver a message. They're going to change the whole message. By the time it get to its recipient, it became a whole nother story. It became a whole nother message. It became a whole nother something you never intended to say. So this is what cuts off feet. This is why, this is how much, Solomon is trying to stress the importance of, not sending a fool to deliver a message. Verse 7, the legs of the lame hang limp. So is a proverb in the mouth of fools. So that a proverb in the mouth of a fool, it doesn't even sound right because you know how foolish this person is. It don't add up. It don't even sound right rolling off of their tongue. Because they're a damn they can be a damn fool. And to the point you can't even trust what they're saying and believe what they're saying is true. And even if it's wise, being as though it's who it's coming from, you like, man, like, is this person serious right now? Because you can't take them seriously. They're so foolish. They so consistent in their foolishness that you don't, when you think that they're serious, you got to question it. This is what that means. Verse 8. Like one binding a stone in a sling, so is he who gives esteem to a fool. So when you give credit to a fool, you giving credit to a fool and giving all these props to a fool, you gotta think and most people are fools, man. Most people can be foolish. I can be foolish. Each and every one of our flesh, each and every one of us in our flesh are fools, and are very, very, very foolish. And those who are content in their flesh, in the foolish ways of the flesh, are the most praised. It's been like this obviously since the days of Solomon. Like one binding a stone in a sling, so is he who gives esteem to a fool. Verse 9, a thorn goes into the hand of a drunkard, so is a proverb in the mouth of a fool. Verse 10, an archer who wounds anyone is he who hires a fool or any passerby. These fools, man. Verse 11, as a dog returns to his vomit, as a dog returns to his own vomit, so a fool repeats his folly. Our flesh wants to return to its vomit. Our flesh wants to repeat its foolishness. Each of our flesh wants to repeat this foolishness. You separate yourself from the others by tapping into your spirit to deny your flesh of repeating this foolishness. You're not going to stop your flesh from repeating all foolishness, man. The idea is to show something, show you have stopped it from doing something. Demonstrate that you have stopped it from doing something. Put on record that you have stopped it from doing something. Put on record that you have stopped it from saying something. Put on record that you have stopped it from going somewhere or doing something with someone or doing something towards someone. Put on record that you've done this. That's the whole idea, is you put on record that you gave the effort to stop it from doing something. Don't let it get away with doing any and everything, saying any and everything that you know you don't want done to you, or that you know you don't want said to you or said about you. And most people are letting the flesh do whatever it, say whatever, do whatever, go wherever, be with whoever. It's the effort of the spirit to deprive the flesh, to deny the flesh. Verse 12, have you seen a man wise in his own eyes? There is more expectancy for a fool than for him. So these people who are wise in their own eyes are those who rely on the knowledge of man. World knowledge, not spiritual knowledge. World wisdom, not spiritual wisdom. World understanding, not spiritual understanding. They rely on regurgitated knowledge of men. And this is why it's more expectancy for a fool than them. Because with a fool, or at least a fool doesn't know. Just literally ignorant. But when one claimed to know, but only know of the knowledge of man and not the knowledge of, and don't acknowledge the knowledge of the Supreme Spirit, that's what makes you worse than a fool. Because you have some form of knowledge to consider, that you should know that there's a knowledge superior than man. There's an understanding superior than world knowledge. There's a wisdom superior to world wisdom. But yet you place world wisdom, knowledge, and understanding over this spiritual knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and the existence of the Most High. These are scientists. Verse 13, the lazy one says, there is a lion in the way. A fierce lion is in the streets. This is what the lazy one is saying to avoid going to work. Oh, it's snow outside. Make up some. My son got it, or my daughter got to go to the doctor's to avoid going to work. A lion is in the street. That's equivalent to telling them that there's a lion in the street. You scared to come outside to go to work. Verse 14, as a door turns on his hinges, so does the lazy one turn on his bed. Don't want to get up. Don't want to get out of bed. Turning. Most likely you went to sleep too late. Most likely you ate something you ate more than you should have. Or you ate something you shouldn't have. Most likely you put yourself under the influence of something you shouldn't have. This is what leads to you not wanting to get out of bed to work, to put your 6 days of labor in, and the seventh you rest. Verse 15, the lazy one buries his hand in the dish. It tires him to bring it back to his mouth. How many put the hands in bags of chips, man? It's not even funny. And they just, at some point, they mess around and fall asleep. Sad story. I knew a guy in prison, died in his sleep. Excuse me, passed away in his sleep. And it was said that he was eating chips, like, but guys were like making fun of that being a rumor. But I think of that. I think of him when I think of this verse. And what the worst place to pass away in, prison. That was a fear that I had. Praise Yah, all glory be to Yah. Verse 16, the lazy one is wiser in his own eyes than seven rendering advice. Can't tell a lazy person nothing. Can't tell them to stop being late for work. Can't tell them that they should do this it'll help them be better. Can't tell them they should start setting an alarm or getting to bed early, or they should cut out this, cut out this putting themselves in, cut out putting themselves in under the influence. You can't tell a lazy person under this. They're wise and I got this. I know what I'm doing. Or they'll just ignore you entirely, or just won't respond and just, continue on in their laziness. They're wiser than seven rendering advice. Verse 17, passerby meddling in a strife not his own is like one who takes hold of a dog by the ears. This is where it tells us that it's not wise to intervene in strangers, in quarrels between strangers. Get in between, you know, disagreements or, arguments of strangers. Mind your business. This is where it tells us to mind our business. Whenever we see two people or two groups, going at it in disagreement, about the fight, mind your business of that. But if you know people, make peace. Even the strangers, make peace from a distance, but don't go trying to break nothing up. Don't try to get in between any of that. If they're strangers. Now, if you know these people, that's different. Make peace. We're asked to be peacemakers, to show ourselves to be spiritual children of God. We're asked to do that, be peacemakers to people we know, between people we know. But clearly, this is spiritual wisdom spoken through Solomon is telling us that, where is it? A passerby meddling in a strife not his own is like one who takes hold of a dog by the ears. So you taking a hold of a dog by the ears, you're looking to get bit. You're looking to get attacked by the dog. So that's the same with you you being a passerby or someone, a stranger passing by, getting involved or in between two strangers arguing, two strangers fighting, two strangers. You're You're looking to be fought by one of them. You're looking to, this is what it leads to. So mind your business. This is where you truly have to mind your business. Be a peacemaker to people you know. Be a peacemaker between people you know, not strangers. Maybe kids maybe, but not. I don't recommend them because their parents may be, someone you don't want to deal with. Verse 18, like a madman who throws sparks, arrows in death. Verse 19, so is a man who deceives his neighbor and says, I was only joking. We get a lot of that. I remember I did that as a kid. I said something real crazy. And I was like 7 years old. My brother, I didn't expect my brother to notice it. And I was like, I think I tried to play it off as like I was just playing. He's like, no, you wasn't playing. I'm like, how was you in my head? Like, my brother called me out, like, no, you lied. Like, I think I told a lie. I was like, I was being funny. And I was self-consciously guilty, feeling guilty, like it was guilty in my head, but my brother didn't notice that. But obviously, the Most High put it in my brother's mind that to check me on it, like, no, you lied. And it, when he said it, I thought I was, playing it off and being slick by saying, I told a joke, or I was saying something to make it seem like it wasn't a lie or something like that. And he told it straight how it was, which I I remember that to this day. I was very young, man. I had to be younger than 6. I had to be younger than 6, and I remember saying something and my brother calling me out on it. I don't even know how he knew that it would bring that much conviction to me. But I know that I tried to play it off to downgrade it, you know what I mean? To downplay it like it wasn't a lie. And it was more so like a joke. I was telling the joke. I was this. And he was like, no, it was a lie. Just called it right out. And I'm like, wow. Like, and I'm in my head like, how do you know? How did you know that? Like, the Most High put it on him, man. That's how I remember this to this day. Yeah, man. So this is equivalent to that. People be trying to downplay, something wicked. Like he says, so is a man who deceived his neighbor and says, I was only joking. No, you deceived them. You wasn't joking. You deceived. It was deception. You lied. You manipulated. You finessed. Same way my brother called it out. When I was young, finessing and manipulating, and I did something. I obviously did something I can't remember, manipulative or finessing, working craft. He called it out. Like, no, it was deception. You lied. A lot of people try to downplay their deception as like they were joking. No, you were working your craft. You were finessing. You were manipulating. You were deceiving. You knew your intentions was that, and you were caught. But you got caught. Verse 20. For lack of wood, the fire goes out, and without a slanderer, strife ceases. This is where all strife stems from: people slandering people, throwing dirt on people's name, backbiting, calling people out of their names, talking about people behind their back, talking about people to others when they're not around, talking about people, period. Gossiping, lying on people, lying about people, making up stories about people. When you don't have that, you don't have strife. You don't have drama. When you don't have people doing this, you don't have any drama. You ain't got to worry about no drama, no strife, no smoke, No trouble. Nobody's coming to want to fight you because you done said something about them. No one's coming to do anything to you because you done lied about them. So get rid of the slander, get rid of the slanderer and the one who make fun of others, and that's when you get rid of strife. You get rid of drama. That's simple. Verse 21. As charcoal is to burning coals and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife. Verse 22. The words of a slanderer are a dainty morsel, which goes down into the inner parts of the heart. Words hit hard. Words, hurtful things that were said to us when we were kids, we could still remember. They still with us. They're still with us. Those words are still with us. And this is what this means. Verse 23. Burning lips with an evil heart are like earthenware covered with silver drawers. 24. He who hates pretends with his lips and lays up deceit within him. So one who hates pretends with their lips like they like you. One who hates pretends with their lips as if they like you, as if they don't hate you, and they lay up this deceit within them. They lay up the deceit within them because how they truly feel about you is within. But they pretend with their lips as if they like you, and they don't. They really don't. But they're making you feel like they do to get what they want or be around you, and you know they got their weird motive, and you just have to have that discernment to sift them out. Verse 25. Though he speaks kindly, do not believe him, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. So this is how you got to have that discernment. You have to have spiritual knowledge, wisdom, understanding. It starts with what the Most High spoke through Solomon and David and Solomon. If you don't have this, you're not going to know how to sift it out. You're not going to know, you won't be able to identify it when you hear it. You won't be able to identify who truly hates you, who's rocking you to sleep, telling you what you want to hear, but really they don't like you. You're not going to know this. You're not going to have you're not going to have this gift or skill. This comes with this spiritual knowledge, wisdom, understanding, spoken through the kings of God. Verse 26. Hatred is covered by deceit. His evil is disclosed in the assembly. So hatred is covered by deceit. But in the assembly of Yah, when 2 or 3 are gathered in the name, and when his son is amongst us, is exposed. Is exposed. It get exposed when 2 or 3 true believers in the name of the only begotten Son are gathered. Everything was revealed. All will be revealed. Verse 27, whoever digs a pit falls into it, and whoever rolls a stone, it turns back on them. You get what you put out. You get what you put out. What goes around comes around. Verse 28, a lying tongue hates its bruised ones, and a flattering mouth works ruin. Somebody lying to you, they hate you. And one who flatters, they're working towards your ruin. that was the end of this reading. I gotta cut it short. It's late. I started late. I was supposed to read the book of Ecclesiastes Chapter 2, but we've read that. We read that every week. We're going to be reading that every week. But it's late. Phone dying. So hallelujah, hallelujah, praise Yah. May all glory be to Yah, Yahuwah, Shabbaoth, Yahuwah, Almighty, Yahuwah, Most High, Yahuwah, El Shaddai. I'm going to bless us out according to the blessing that was given to Moses to bless the people in the book of Numbers, chapter 6, verse 23 to 26. Receive your blessing. May Yahuwah bless you, barak you, and guard you. May Yahuwah make his face shine upon you and show favor to you. May Yahuwah lift up his face upon you and give you peace. Till next time, siblings, peace, love, shalom, shalom, peace, and love.